Hello, and welcome to episode 26 of Free Thoughts from Freedom Chiropractic and Rehab. Thanks for tuning in. This week's quote of the week comes from Mark Twain. He said, "Independence is loyalty to one's best self and principles." And this brings to mind the conversations we've had about James Clear and his habits. Right? The idea of we can maintain our independence if we choose to eat healthy, if we choose to exercise, if we choose to go to bed early enough to get our 7+ hours of sleep. We maintain our independence when we spend time with the people who matter the most to us, who have a positive influence on our lives. We begin to become more dependent on others when we start to eat more junk food, when we start to exercise less and get less sleep. We increase the likelihood that we become dependent on other people sooner. So make good, healthy choices. Choose those positive habits and be respectful and be loyal to your best self and principles. Okay, let's talk about health. Today's July 4th, also known as Independence Day here in the States. Independence is my why. I read the book years ago from Simon Sinek where he talked about starting with why. What's the reason for what you do? And for me, everything I do is about independence, or at least maintaining independence. So what we do here in the office is about maintaining independence for us, but it's more about giving you independence. It's about giving our patients independence. That's why we talk about nutrition and exercise and sleep and taking care of our mental health. That's why we teach you the rehab exercises that we do so that you can do these things on your own and you don't need to see us to feel better. The goal is for us to help you to become independent, not dependent. Right? We all want our children to grow up to be independent. We all want to be able to maintain our independence as long as possible as we get older. None of us want to be dependent on living in a nursing home or anything along those lines. We do everything we can today to prevent the loss of that independence in the long run. Now it's time for some good news. Just last week I came across a story that really caught my attention. Nestle, the world's largest food and beverage company, made a major announcement. They announced that they were going to be removing all artificial dyes from their products by the middle of 2026. This is fantastic news. Those dyes don't do anything to make our food taste better. They just make it more visually appealing in an effort to sell more food, to sell more of their products. But those dyes brought with them health risks for our children, for our families. So getting rid of those risks would be a huge step forward. Ironically, around the same time, Kraft, Heinz, and General Mills all announced that they were going to do the same by 2027. So we have 4 huge companies all making the same pledge because they're realizing the risk that those dyes bring with them. We should be checking our food for those dyes now, and now's as good a time as any to start removing them from your house if you can.